baby hands play a part in the third act. Wait, Deadpool 2 had baby legs in the scene, and this film has baby hands? Well played, movie. Well played indeed. While I don't hate the Teen Titans Go TV show, I'm also not a fan of it. I have seen some of the show and it was occasionally enjoyable. I wasn't planning on seeing the new film until I heard that it had satirical elements in it for the adults. So I decided to check it out. It's been a year since I saw the Emoji Movie, and there's no way this could be that bad, right? Right? The story is, in this world, there seems to be a bunch of superhero films being made. Heck, even Alfred, the Batmobile, and Batman's utility belt gets a movie. This makes Robin sad, and so the Titans set off to get him his own movie. But first, they need to find an arch nemesis. Wackiness ensues. Here are a list of things that I liked about the film. 1. The 2D animation looks good. It seems to be a minor upgrade from the TV series. While it's not spectacular, there are times that the animators get real creative with the art. There are times there's stop motion, CGI, and I think even puppets. There's a scene after an explosion where there's all these floaty bits that seem to have an extra dimension to them. That one scene would have looked great in 3D. 2. The main cast from the show played the same characters. Well, Will Arnett does play Slade instead of Ron Perlman from the 2003 series. I imagine he was used because this version of Slade is more of a goofball, even though I still think that Ron Perlman would have been up to the task. Maybe Warner Animation felt his voice would be too scary for the kids. 3. Nicolas Cage plays Superman, and he's perfect for this film. 4. A couple of the jokes were funny. Let me try again. 5. The film is just under 90 minutes, so it's not a long investment. 6. The music is the best part of this film. I may not ever watch this film again, but I will remember the music. The jokes can be hit or miss in this film, but when they're incorporated with the songs, they usually hit. There's so many songs that this could almost be considered a musical. I wonder will this be up for multiple Oscars and Golden Globes this year? Well, I said it could be considered a musical almost, but not quite. I thought I might have just rolled my eyes during every song and the cheesy raps in the film, but no, they worked in the framework of the film and they kept my attention for most of the film. It was only during some of the non-musical portions of the film that I felt restless. My favorite songs were the ones that made fun of the action movie cliches. An example would be the inspirational song. So even if you don't want to see the movie, at least buy the soundtrack. Oh, and the main cast sings most of the songs and they're great at it. 7. Before the film, there was a Superheroes Girl short with Batgirl as the focus. It was enjoyable and I'm actually glad the animation was something different from what the normal Superhero Girls animation usually is. It was directed by Lauren Faust of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fame. My only nitpick of it is that maybe it was too short. I wanted to see more, so that's a good thing. After this, I really hope Lauren Faust gets more work and maybe she could direct the Medusa 2D film at WB that was cancelled at Sony long ago, along with the Popeye film, and yet Sony still went through with the Emoji Movie. 8. It's going to seem minor, but at the end of the credits, they listed the names of every prominent creator in the Titans history. This is something that I first started seeing being done during the Marvel films with Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Warner Bros. Has also started doing it in the Wonder Woman film and in Justice League. I really like this because these individuals deserve to be recognized and celebrated. And now for the cons. Well, there's really only one, and that's the film isn't that funny, which isn't good since this is supposed to be a comedy. A lot of the jokes are just thrown at the wall and don't hit that often. My main issues with the comedy is that most of the jokes are referential. and about half of those aren't even jokes, they're just references. It's like a kiddie version of Family Guy. And at least in this film though, there aren't as many cutaways as there is in Family Guy. And when the jokes do fail, the film just starts dragging. I checked my watch a couple of times. Okay, and here's just some random stuff. Minor spoilers. There's a Marvel cameo or double cameo in this film. At first, I thought that maybe it was someone doing an impersonation of that person, but nope. The end credits say it was him, alright. In the background, there's a good number of DC characters doing random stuff, so that was fun. Also, the Challengers of the Unknown. Really? That's a pretty deep cut into DC Comics history. I doubt most DC comic book fans even know who they are. There were a good number of Disney and Marvel references and parodies in this film as well. A couple of them were pretty funny. The others just kind of dragged and were way too obvious. I figured that since this is a gag spoof film that they would have called Slade by his moniker Deathstroke the Terminator and would have had some fun with that, but they don't. Also, the director in the film, is she a reference to another character? I thought maybe it was a reference to Slade's ex-wife or his daughter, but I'm not sure. So do I recommend this? Sure, why not? Here's the thing, if you like the Teen Titans Go TV series, then you'll like this film. This is a film made primarily for the fans of that show. So if you don't like the show, then this won't convert you. The movie doesn't add anything new to the characters. If you don't know anything about the show or the characters, then I don't see any real reason why you want to see this unless you have a child that wants to see the film. The filmmakers did, however, do some jokes that were aimed at the adults, so it seems that they're doing the same thing that other kids' films do. Throw in some adult jokes so the adults won't get bored, and the rest of the film is for the children. Compared to the other Hollywood animated films this year, I suppose this would be in the upper tier, but that really says something about the quality of the films that have been released in the US this year. Still, while I didn't really like this film, I do want this film to be a major success for 3 reasons. 1, on the very off likely chance that it does well, maybe, just maybe, Hollywood will start making 2D animated films again. 2, this will show that you don't need celebrity voices cast for a successful film and that they usually don't add anything extra that a professional voice actor would add already. After all, do people really see these anime films just for the celebrity voices? Days after the film or before the film is released, does the movie-going audience even know what celeb play what voice or if there's what celeb is in the film? Probably not. 3, and this is a spoiler for the mid-credit scene, so spoiler. If this film is really successful, then there's a chance that the 2003 version of the Teen Titans will come back. Now, that scene is interesting because it's there obviously for fans of that iteration of the show, except the fans of that show hate Teen Titans Go, so they wouldn't have gone to see this movie, right? The kids that watch Teen Titans Go, odds are they know nothing about that version of the Teen Titans, and the reason for that is all Cartoon Network's fault, really. The parents also won't know anything about the show, or even any random people that just happen to drop in and watch the film won't know anything about that. Does Warner Animation really think that once the fans of the original show hear about this scene, they will go see the film and then Teen Titans Go to the movies will make even more money? I don't know. Prior to the film coming out, voice actress Tara Strong, who also voices Raven, on Twitter said that if the film does well, there's a chance the previous show could return. That sounds a bit promising, but I just get the feeling that Warner Brothers just may be trolling the fans. After all, this is the same company that made Teen Titans Go into its flagship program on Cartoon Network and Boomerang for a while, to the point where at one time, recently, it dominated its programming block, showing an episode of Teen Titans Go for 12 to 13 hours a day. Well, that's all I have. If you saw the film, then comment below and tell me what you thought about it. Also, tell me what you thought about this review. Until next time, watch more 2D animation and stop motion, and read more comic books from around the world. Venture on.
I think his dad is a cop. Run!